going to pull you back together. All right, I'm going to pull you back together. Man, you guys must really like miscue analysis. I'm glad. All right, so I'm going to pull you back together. And we're going to focus in on one of these questions. The question of, so what new understandings do you have about your student from analyzing their reading process? So you now have the understandings of, are they making syntactic errors? Are they making semantic errors? Are they making graphophonic errors? But the bigger question that Caroline asked is, well, now what? What do I do now that I know that I have all the no's in this column and I have all the n's in this column, which means they're all making visual errors. What do I do now? Right? Big question. In your blend space, here's the funny thing. Because you have the power, you already know what to do, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. So in your blend space, you have two documents that talk about the three queuing systems of miscue, and they give you strategies that you can look at from here. Now again, these are strategies that you already know because you're great teachers. So let's look at this one. Instructional ideas. Y'all with me? So if your child is making a ton of graphophonic errors, instructional ideas, making big words, month by month phonics, word sorts, word analogies, things to work on with them. What are some questions and prompts you could ask during conferences? What were the rhyming words in that story? What do you see within that bigger word? So this document gives you questions, examples, and instructional ideas. Now that you have the Y's and you have the N's, but remember, we're not caring that it's 100% this and 50% this. We're focusing on what's next. Where do I go from here? And this document and the document after this, which I'll also pull up for you and show you where it is. I am on 18 and 19. 18 and 19 in your Symbaloo. We're actually going, it's not in your Symbaloo, in your blend space. We're going to take this a little bit deeper during your collaborative planning this month, but so that you can already look over it. It's here, but this is what this month's collaborative planning is going to focus on. So 18 is the three queuing systems. 19 is also another PDF, which is blank, but I have it here if you want to see it. It looks like this. Okay, there's a PDF on it. And your golden pages, which again we'll go through during this month's collaborative planning, are pages 11 and 12. And they actually talk about what does the reading miscue analysis tell you. So if they're omitting words, if they're repeating words, if they're doing a reversal, what are some questions that you can ask during individual conferences? And what are some instructional ideas that you could do? Let's say if you have 4 or 5 students doing this, what's a way that you can pull them in a small group and do some instructional ideas, okay? So those 2 resources are online for you. Again, once you read them, you're going to say, hey, I knew this, and you do know it. But just for you to reassure yourself that you do know it, the resources are there, and we're going to discuss them a little bit more during this month's collaborative planning. All right, we are going to do a very, very modified version of Writer's Workshop, because I promised you I'd get you out of here on time, no matter how long we spent on miscue analysis. Are y'all feeling okay with miscue analysis? Yes? You're feeling okay? Do you like the YYN questioning better than the MSV? Why? It's shorter. Okay? It's easier. It's easier to understand. You know, April, I actually feel the same. Again, I've taken multiple classes on running record, and I feel the same way. Because to me, to ask 3 yes or no questions, and for those yes or no questions to be focused on semantics, syntactics, and graphophonic queuing systems, to me, that's golden. And again, with miscues, you can do it with any text at any time with your students who you feel like need that extra help, okay? So today's original plan for Writer's Workshop is for you to review your literacy narrative and introduce some conferencing questions. Now, because this month's focus is on formative data, another form of formative data is notes that you take on conferencing. So for example, my teachers who only teach math and science, I know a lot of you have said, hey, I don't listen to them read, but you do, because you listen to them read while they read you word problems in math. And you can take notes on conferencing, and that's formative data. Okay, so with what we're going to do is I want you to pull out your literacy narratives that you're working on. We're going to skip over the warm-up. Y'all are pretty warmed up and literally warmed up in here. So we're going to skip over that. So just pull it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you suggestions of conferencing questions. You can not only use this with adults right now, but these are great, great questions that you can use with your students. So pull out your literacy narrative. We've been working on it for, what, 4 months now? Guess what? We're going to finish it next month. We're going to publish it next month.
I think I deleted mine by accident.
We're going to publish it next month. Isn't that exciting?
It is.
The literacy narrative that we've been adding onto every month. So we started off the first month talking about what are your biggest literacy influences? And then we kept, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So I want you to pull out your narrative. I want you to turn to a partner, not a group, a partner, and very, very, very quickly just get a feel for some of these conferencing questions. All right, you're not going to have time to get through them all because we're going to modify and adjust, but very quickly just go through and have a mini conference with your partner about your literacy narrative. With your partner, not your group. The literacy narrative, so this is part of it.
Yeah.
So the first question in the narrative was, like, write down either 5 books that have influenced your life, write a letter to somebody who's influenced you.
Yeah, okay.
And then we added on to it. We've been adding on to it every month. So yeah, that's it. That's right. That's exactly right. And we just have kept adding on to it every month. Have y'all found your literacy narrative? Maybe?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Okay, so at the very first class, there was a quick write that we did. And it had possibilities at the top that you could make a bullet list, you could write a song, you could draw a picture. And then every month, write a letter to some. That's it, Sue, right there. Yeah, that's exactly right.
So impressed.
And so every month, you've just been adding on to it. And that's what you want to take out.
I know.
And that's okay if you haven't. We'll just conference on what you have. We'll conference on what you have, Sue.
Was it this? Okay.
No.
I don't like her anymore. I really don't like her
Remember,
anymore.
I'm only auditing class.
I used to like you.
I used to like you. I don't get any credit.
We're conferencing, right? We're conferencing about our literacy narratives.
Okay, is it the
Yes.
5 books that changed my life?
Correct. And every month you've been adding something to that.
Not much.
That's okay. That's okay. Whatever you have. That's okay.
You can just do put right there.
Yeah. And if not, you can conference with your partner on theirs.
Chatting. I mean, I've already
We were split out, but Meg is already mine.
Okay.
She knows to pull up her Assembly, and she knows whoever comes will learn Assembly or broadcast. Gotcha. We're good?
We're good. Have fun.
They got YYN.
Yay.
I was excited. I thought that went well. We had some good conversations, too.
Yeah. It was good.
I'm so sorry.
Jill, could you please tell me about that picture that you were bringing up in your literacy narrative right here?
Yes, it's a picture of my husband, and these are the things
How
I've
is your-
taught him.
How has your husband influenced your literacy life?
You would not believe the words he has told me.